All right, let's just jump right in. We're talking about what might be the single biggest economic explosion of our lifetime, the AI gold rush of 2025. Just let that number sink in for a second. $5 trillion. That's a 5 with 12, count 'em, 12 zeros after it. It's a number so huge it almost doesn't feel real. So what on earth does it represent? Well, that right there is the new price tag for the picks and shovels. See, we're living through a modern day gold rush for sure. But the real guaranteed money isn't just in digging for AI gold, it's in selling the essential tools to every single prospector out there. So, who's the one selling all these tools? This gets us to the absolute heart of the story, the $5 trillion chip, and the one company that figured out how to power this entire revolution. And that company is NVIDIA. Just a few days ago, it made history, becoming the first company ever to be valued at $5 trillion. Now, what's so fascinating about their strategy is they aren't even trying to build the next big AI app themselves. No. Instead, they're just supplying the hardware, these incredibly powerful GPUs that everyone else needs to even get in the game. Okay, so if NVIDIA is selling the shovels, who's buying them up? Well, this is where the story gets even crazier. It's basically every big name in tech, and they are on a spending spree like we have never seen before, all to stake their claim on this new frontier. I mean, the scale of this is just wild. Amazon has jacked up its spending forecast to $125 billion. Meta is throwing more than $40 billion at AI and the metaverse. And Microsoft? Their CFO just said their spending is going to accelerate. You know, this isn't just an investment. It's a full-blown arms race for computing power. And is all this spending actually working? Oh yeah, it's paying off big time. Just look at Alphabet, Google's parent company. They just shattered records with $100 billion in revenue in a single quarter, and it was driven directly by their AI-powered cloud and Gemini products. The gold is very, very real. But here's the thing. Not everyone is jumping into this arms race. This slide perfectly shows a totally different strategy. While Microsoft, Google, and Meta are just burning cash on infrastructure, Apple is, well, being Apple. They're focusing on what they do best, massive demand for the new iPhone and huge growth in their services. They're basically sidestepping this whole battle, proving there's more than one way to win. You know, any good gold rush isn't just about the big mining companies. It creates this whole ecosystem around them, all the boom towns and railroads that spring up to support the rush. And that's exactly what's happening now. And wow, are these boomtowns popping up fast. The money is just pouring in and it's going everywhere. I mean, you've got a legal AI startup raising $150 million. An AI model developer called Poolside is looking at a $2 billion funding round. And it's not just software. We're talking dental tech, space hardware, fintech. They're all getting millions. AI is becoming the engine behind everything. And of course, you need railroads to connect all these new towns, right? Well, that's happening too, in the form of these massive corporate deals that are redrawing the map. OpenAI is getting ready for what could be a $1 trillion IPO. Meanwhile, you've got huge merger talks happening in accounting software and a potential $22 billion deal to create a new wireless chip powerhouse. Okay, but all this growth, this fast, it's got to have a downside, right? And it does. When you try to build a new world this quickly, you put an unbelievable amount of strain on the physical world, on the global supply chain that makes it all possible. You don't have to take my word for it. Just listen to this from the chairman of SK Group, one of the biggest chip makers in the world. He's saying, flat out, that the demand for AI is growing way faster than we can physically keep up. He's calling for cooperation, because right now it's a global fight for the same limited parts. So let's break down what this bottleneck actually looks like. It's pretty simple, really. First, you have this insane demand, with every company on Earth trying to build data centers. That leads to step 2. You hit the physical limits of production. Companies like SK Hynix are already running at max capacity. And the result? A global shortage. The thing that might slow AI down isn't a lack of good ideas, it's a lack of stuff. So when you have this much money and power shifting this quickly, you can bet the governments are going to get involved. All around the world, there's a mad dash to write the rulebook for this new territory, a race to create some law and order on this wild frontier. And what's happening is we're seeing 2 totally different playbooks for the future of AI merge on the world stage. On one side, you've got the Tech 7 nations, the old G7,
who are pushing for a future built around things like ethics and digital trust. And on the other side, you've got China's state-run plan to just dominate, to capture 30% of the entire global market, sanctions be damned. These are two completely competing visions for our future. And it's not just these big international showdowns either. This stuff is hitting home on a local level. Down in Australia, they just went ahead and banned social media for kids under 16. And here's the kicker. The big tech companies, they're actually going along with it. This could be a huge deal, setting a precedent for the rest of the world.
Okay, so after all that, the trillions, the tech giants, the global politics, let's bring it back to us. What does any of this AI gold rush actually mean for the rest of us in our daily lives? At the end of the day, it really boils down to this, doesn't it? This constant trade-off between amazing convenience in our own data. Take OpenAI's new Atlas browser. It promises to make life easier by remembering everything you do. But for that to work, you have to let it, well, remember everything. How much of our privacy are we really willing to give up for that convenience? And this right here, this is the real paradox of progress, isn't it? On one hand, you have Amazon pledging $125 billion to build the future. And in the very same breath, they're getting ready to lay off 14,000 of their own corporate employees, partly because of automation. That's the messy, complicated human side of this gold rush. Which really leaves us with one final crucial question. There's no doubt that this AI gold rush is building our future. The question we all need to keep asking is, who exactly is that future being built for?